Chakra. In the world of Naruto, chakra is basically the soul of the entire ninja universe. You absolutely need it to use any kind of jutsu. At its core, chakra is a perfect mix between physical energy from your body, built up through intense training, and mental energy from your mind, shaped by meditation and real battle experience. For example, when Naruto learned how to spin chakra in his hand to create the Rasengan, it wasn't just about having raw strength. He also needed insane mental focus to shape the chakra just right. Chakra flows through your body in a system kind of like blood circulation. It moves through hundreds of pressure points called tenketsu. That's why if someone has the Byakugan and uses gentle fists to block those points, even the strongest ninja can be completely shut down, unable to use any jutsu at all. Chakra is basically your life force. If you use it all up, you die. Simple as that. So the body has built-in safety systems to stop you from going too far. And yes, I'm talking about the 8 gates, a system that limits how much chakra you can release. Each gate acts like a barrier, stopping you from literally burning your life away. Not everyone can open even one of these gates. But if you can, oh man, it's a whole different level. Just look at Might Guy. When he opened the final gate during the fight with Madara, you saw how insanely powerful a human can become. High-level jutsu like Chidori or Rasen Shuriken need a massive amount of chakra. That's why even a genius like young Kakashi could only use Chidori 4 times in one day before completely burning out. Meanwhile, Naruto, with the endless chakra from Kurama, could spam Rasengan like it's nothing. It's honestly unfair. If you've got tons of chakra, fighting becomes way easier. You can even brute force your way out of jutsu that are supposed to block your chakra flow. Chakra can also be combined with nature elements like fire, water, lightning, wind, and earth to create different styles of jutsu. We've seen tons of these elemental techniques, but beyond that, there are rare chakra types like natural energy or 6 paths chakra. Only a few chosen characters ever get to use those. Either they trained insanely hard, or they were simply chosen, like Naruto, Madara, or Hashirama. If you're curious about all the different types of chakra, I already made a whole video about that. Go check it out on the channel. Jutsu. Jutsu are the awesome moves ninjas use, both in combat and in daily life. The easiest way to explain it, jutsu are basically the magic tricks of the ninja world, and almost all of them come from controlling chakra. Chakra is made by combining physical energy from your body with spiritual energy from your mind. When a ninja wants to use a jutsu, they mix those 2 types of energy and then use hand signs, those fast, flashy hand movements, to shape and direct the chakra. It's kind of like typing in a cheat code. Each hand sign is like a piece of the code, and once you finish the sequence, the jutsu activates. And because there are so many ways to combine hand signs, the number of possible jutsu is absolutely wild. Just look at Kakashi. He's mastered around 1,000 different jutsu on his own. That's ridiculously impressive. To make things easier to understand, jutsu are ranked by difficulty. The ranks go from E all the way to S. E-rank jutsu are the super basic ones that every student learns at the academy, like substitution jutsu or transformation jutsu. On the other hand, S-rank jutsu are on a completely different level. They're insanely dangerous and super rare. Only elite ninjas can pull them off, like Shisui Uchiha's Kotoa Matsukami, or the reanimation jutsu created by the second Hokage. Jutsu also fall into 3 major types: ninjutsu, genjutsu, and taijutsu. Ninjutsu are the straight-up attack techniques. They often involve using elements like fire, water, lightning, or earth to blow stuff up or mess with the environment. Genjutsu is all about illusions and messing with the opponent's mind. A perfect example is Itachi's Tsukuyomi, which can trap someone in a nightmare world where seconds feel like days. Taijutsu, though, is pure hand-to-hand combat. No chakra tricks needed, just raw speed, power, and precision. Beyond the main 3 types, there are other special jutsu too. Some are used for making barriers, absorbing chakra, or are unique to certain clans. These add even more flavor to ninja battles. Most ninjas specialize in a few types of jutsu that match their strengths and personality. Sakura and Tsunade are famous for their healing jutsu and insane physical strength. Shikamaru's all about strategy and shadow jutsu passed down by his clan. And Itachi. The guy's a straight-up genjutsu legend. This kind of variety is what makes fights in Naruto so unpredictable and fun to watch. You never know what's coming next, and that's what makes the ninja world feel so alive. Kekkei Genkai. Kekkei Genkai are powerful abilities that you're literally born with. They're passed down through family bloodlines and are deeply built into a ninja's DNA. You can't just learn them or copy them. They're exclusive, and honestly, they make the people who have them feel almost unbeatable. One of the most famous and terrifying types of Kekkei Genkai is dojutsu, or eye techniques. These are special eyes with unique powers, and we've seen a ton of them in Naruto, Byakugan, Sharingan, Rinnegan, and plenty of other Ogans. Each eye comes with its own insane ability, and some of them can even evolve into stronger versions. Another major type is elemental fusion. This happens when a ninja can mix two basic chakra elements to create a whole new one. For example, the Yuki clan's ice release combines water and wind to make deadly ice attacks. Lava release fuses fire and earth to form molten lava. And of course, there's wood release, Makuton, used by Hashirama, which is probably the strongest Kekkei Genkai ever shown. He could create entire forests from nothing and completely take over the battlefield. While many ninjas can use multiple chakra elements, only a rare few can actually fuse two elements into a brand new one. That's what makes this type of power so special and so scary. Then there are the creepy Kekkei Genkai that let you control your own body in messed up ways. Kimimara's Shikotsumyaku let him weaponize his own bones. He could shoot bone bullets, grow bone spikes, or cover himself in an unbreakable bone armor. Sakon and Ukon were even crazier, with the ability to merge their bodies with others, turning battles into total nightmares. What makes Kekkei Genkai truly valuable and dangerous is how insanely rare they are. Out of millions of ninja, only a small handful are lucky enough to be born with one. Byakugan and Sharingan are mostly locked into the Hyuga and Uchiha clans. Wood release only showed up in Hashirama and a few lab-made experiments from Orochimaru. And Shikotsumyaku, that belonged to Kimimaro alone. Because these powers are so rare, people are desperate to get their hands on them. Some want to steal the special eyes. Others want to capture bloodline users and turn them into living weapons. In the Naruto world, people trade eyeballs like light bulbs. It's wild. But the truth is, most Kekkei Genkai are extremely hard to recreate. Besides dojutsu, trying to copy or implant a bloodline ability usually ends in failure. Just look at Orochimaru's experiments to recreate Hashirama's wood release. Out of hundreds of test subjects, only Yamato survived, and he was the only one to actually inherit that power. Summonings. This is the epic ninja art of opening a portal between worlds to call powerful creatures to fight by your side. It all starts with a blood contract, a sacred and unbreakable deal. To summon a creature, a ninja must sign its contract using their blood and leave a fingerprint on a special scroll. Naruto signed with the toads from Mount Myoboku, Orochimaru with terrifying snakes, and Sasuke even signed with both snakes and hawks. The process sounds simple. Bite your finger to draw blood, smear it on the summoning hand, then pump chakra to open the portal. But here's the catch. The amount of chakra you use seriously affects the result. Small chakra? You'll just summon tiny guys like baby Gamakichi. But if you pour in massive chakra, boom, giant beasts like Gamabunta show up. And some shinobi can combine their chakra to summon something even bigger, like when Tsunade and Sakura teamed up to summon a piece of giant Katsuyu that healed thousands of soldiers. What makes summoning jutsu totally different from regular jutsu is that the creatures you summon have their own minds. They're not just puppets. Some, like Gamabunta, will fully cooperate, but others, like Manda, can be super aggressive and even threaten to kill you. That's why summoning jutsu is absolutely a double-edged sword. You might call a beast strong enough to wreck the battlefield, but if you can't control it, it might destroy you instead. Rinnegan users like Pain have a major cheat code. They can summon multiple monsters without blood and even bring out the terrifying Gato statue. And don't forget, summoning jutsu isn't just for animals. You can summon the dead with Ito Tensei, bring out giant Rashomon gates, or even summon natural forces like Koji Kashin's volcano fire. But here's the deal, summoning isn't cheap. It drains chakra, especially with monsters like Gamabunta or Manda. Naruto had to rely on Nine-Tails chakra to summon Gamabunta when he was younger. That says a lot. Plus, summoned beasts don't stay forever. When they run out of chakra or time, they vanish, which could leave you totally exposed at the worst moment. And the danger doesn't stop there. If the summoned creature doesn't respect you, it might turn on you. Brutal ones like Manda won't hesitate to bite back if they feel disrespected. So a ninja needs not just power, but serious mental toughness and charisma to keep their summon loyal. In short, summoning jutsu is definitely not for average shinobi. Only legends like Jiraiya, Tsunade, Orochimaru, or Naruto can handle contracts with legendary beasts. That's why every time someone pulls off a summoning in a big fight, it instantly becomes an unforgettable moment. Yin-Yang release. Yin-Yang release is a power that goes way beyond the 5 basic chakra natures we usually talk about. It's all about balance between spirit and body, between nothingness and reality. To get what Yin-Yang release really is, we need to break it down. Yin release uses mental energy, the invisible but insanely powerful stuff that can create shapes and forms out of nothing. Yang release is all about physical energy. It gives life and movement to those forms. When you mix both, you get something god tier. In fact, every single jutsu, no matter how simple, is actually based on Yin-Yang release at its core. That's how deep and universal it is. The first person to fully master this power was Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the Sage of Six Paths. He literally used it to create the 9-tailed beasts by splitting the 10-tails chakra, and then gave them their own minds and wills. This wasn't just chakra control, this was divine-level creation, like carving living beings out of pure thought and energy. Totally unreal. Generations later, Naruto inherited this insane power through Hagoromo's spirit. He used it to save Might Guy from dying after opening the 8th gate, brought back Kakashi's left eye that had been gone for years, and even gave Obito one last shot at life when he was already done for. But even this power has limits. Naruto couldn't stop Obito from dying when he got hit by the all-killing ash bones. That shows us, in the ninja world, there's always another power that can counter even the strongest jutsu. The scariest part of Yin-Yang release? It can completely cancel out any ninjutsu. That's what makes the truth-seeking balls so ridiculously dangerous. They can block any attack and destroy any jutsu they touch. Not even the undead revived by impure world reincarnation can regenerate if they get hit. It's total erasure. Tailed beasts. In the world of Naruto, the tailed beasts, also called Biju, aren't just giant monsters. They're pure chakra creatures, and their power is absolutely insane. To control them, ninja villages came up with the idea of sealing them inside people. These people are called Jinchuriki. Sounds simple, but it's actually super complicated. You need insanely advanced sealing jutsu, like the Uzumaki clan's chakra chains, or the Reaper Death Seal that Minato used. At first, the bond between a Jinchuriki and their beast is usually awful. The tailed beast hates being trapped, and the host is often terrified of the monster inside them. Kurama hated Naruto for years because of this, but once they truly trust and understand each other, their power becomes insanely strong, like world-shaking strong. The chakra of a tailed beast isn't the normal blue kind, it's bright red, and there's a ton of it. So much, in fact, that it can be shared with entire armies. Their signature move? The Bijou Bomb, a massive concentrated chakra blast that can literally blow up mountains. Thanks to all that chakra, Jinchuriki also heal crazy fast. They can recover from deadly injuries in just seconds. But the wildest form of power? Baryon Mode. This is a super rare transformation that only Kurama and Naruto have used. It fuses their chakra into one, but the price is brutal. Kurama can literally die from using it. Of course, the stronger the power, the bigger the risk. Sealing a tailed beast isn't a game. It takes expert-level jutsu and often comes with major sacrifices. And even after sealing, the Jinchuriki constantly fights to stay in control. If they slip up, they can get completely taken over. Just look at Gaara when he was a kid. Shukaku could totally control him. These 9 beasts are extremely rare, and they're the reason behind so many major battles in the series. From the Great Ninja Wars to the Akatsuki's Eye of the Moon plan, everything revolves around capturing or using their power. Hagoromo created them to bring peace, but humans turned them into weapons. So the tailed beasts aren't just monsters. They carry deep stories, full of pain, power, and purpose. Ninja weapons. Ninja weapons might sound simple, but in the shinobi world, they're actually a crazy deep art passed down for generations. From basic kunai and shuriken that every rookie knows, to legendary treasures like the Bashosin fan or the Sealing Gourd, every weapon carries its own story. A kunai isn't just for throwing or stabbing. In Minato's hands, it became a literal teleportation key thanks to his flying Raijin seals. A normal piece of metal instantly turned into one of the deadliest tools on the battlefield, just because the wielder was genius enough to use it in a new way. The puppet masters of the Sand Village show just how creative ninja combat can get. Controlling these puppets with chakra strings takes insanely precise skill. Sasori turned puppet mastery into a deadly art, packing his creations with hidden blades, poison needles, and even chakra cannons. His puppets weren't just weapons, they were bloody works of art. Meanwhile, the Aburami clan went full horror mode, using living insects as their weapons. These bugs can silently drain an enemy's chakra or spy from far away without making a sound. And then there are the special weapons everyone fears, like the 7 Swords of the Mist. Samhata isn't just a sword, it's alive. It can suck chakra straight out of you and even betray its owner if it finds tastier chakra somewhere else. Kubikiri Bocho can literally heal itself by absorbing blood, turning every fight into fuel for its power. Tamari's giant fan can whip up storms strong enough to flatten an entire forest with just a few swings. These aren't just tools, they're true battle partners that fight alongside their wielder. At the very top of ninja weaponry are the legendary treasures of Hagoromo Otsutsuki. The Bashosin fan can control all 5 elements, turning its wielder into a mini-god who can unleash fire, water, earth, wind, and lightning at will. The Sealing Gourd can trap almost anything, humans, tailed beasts, you name it, as long as you know the target's true name. Kinkaku and Ginkaku showed just how terrifying these treasures are when they fought against the entire Shinobi Alliance. Of course, a weapon is only as strong as the person holding it. A kunai in the hands of a rookie might just be good for cutting vegetables, but in Minato's hands, it became the symbol of the yellow flash. High-level weapons like Samehada or Bashosen demand massive amounts of chakra, and if you can't handle it, you'll burn out before you even land a hit. Every weapon reflects its user's personality and fighting style. Sasori's puppets show his cold, lonely artistry of death. Tamari's fan mirrors her bold, straightforward attack style. Minato's flying Raijin Kunai shows his genius for turning something simple into something legendary. Ninja weapons aren't just tools, they're symbols of willpower, creativity, and the dreams of the warriors who made history with them. Strong Fist. Strong Fist is one of the most iconic and straightforward taijutsu styles in Naruto. It's all about direct combat, focusing purely on physical strength. Basically, you punch me, I block it, and kick you back just as hard. That's the vibe. The 8 gates technique also falls under this style. And yeah, that's the highest level you can reach with it. This style stands in clear contrast to the Gentle Fist used by the Hyuga clan, where ninjas gently tap pressure points to shut down your chakra system and mess up your organs. While Gentle Fist is all about precision and internal damage, Strong Fist is pure power and toughness, something you'll see clearly in fighters like Rock Lee and Might Guy. Strong Fist focuses on external damage. The goal is simple: break the enemy's body from the outside using punches and kicks. Users of Strong Fist usually go through insane training to boost their speed and endurance. Think of Rock Lee wearing heavy ankle weights all day, or doing thousands of punches non-stop. The cool thing about Strong Fist is that it looks simple, but it's super intense. Every hit pushes the user's physical limits. When combined with the 8 gates technique, Strong Fist becomes next level. It lets the user break through the body's natural limits. Might Guy proved this when he opened the 8th gate to fight Madara Uchiha. His attacks bent space and nearly took down one of the strongest ninjas ever, even though it almost cost him his life. By the way, we already made a full video about the 8 gates, so if you're curious, feel free to check it out on the channel. Overall, Strong Fist doesn't rely too much on chakra. That's what makes it perfect for ninjas who have low chakra levels, or can't use chakra-based techniques, like Rock Lee, who can't use ninjutsu or genjutsu at all. This also makes Strong Fist a great counter against enemies who can absorb or seal chakra. Even if you're cut off from your chakra, you can still fight with pure physical strength. Strong Fist is all about overwhelming the opponent with non-stop pressure. It forces them to stay on the defensive and gives them no room to breathe. A perfect example was Rock Lee versus Gaara during the Chunin exams. Even though Gaara had an automatic sand shield, Lee's insane speed and strength pushed him into a corner like never before. But here's the catch. Because Strong Fist is all about trading blow for blow, the user heavily depends on their physical condition. If they get tired or injured, their fighting ability drops big time. Just look at what happened to Rock Lee after he opened the 5th gate against Gaara. He was temporarily disabled and almost couldn't continue being a ninja. The biggest weakness of Strong Fist is that it's not for the weak or the lazy. This fighting style demands you to be at your absolute peak all the time. If you're not in top shape, your moves can become predictable, and that's when your opponent takes you down. Interesting, right? Here, we don't just watch anime, we live every character, every story, every emotion. Don't miss out on exclusive content and fresh takes you won't find anywhere else. Hit that subscribe button now and become part of the most passionate and creative anime community out there. Thanks for the support. This journey wouldn't be the same without you. Next, Gentle Fist. If Strong Fist is like a blazing fire, then Gentle Fist is more like calm water, soft and quiet, but strong enough to cut through stone. Gentle Fist is the signature taijutsu style of the Hyuga clan, one of the oldest and most respected noble families in the Hidden Leaf Village. This style is the result of hundreds of years of training and study. It's built on deep knowledge of the human body and the flow of chakra. Don't let the name Gentle Fist fool you. This style is not weak. What makes it special is its ability to deal internal damage. Instead of focusing on the outside, Gentle Fist targets your chakra system and internal organs. The user injects small amounts of their chakra into the opponent's body with precise touches. These touches mess with the chakra flow and hurt vital organs from the inside. To pull this off, the user relies on the Byakugan, a special eye technique unique to the Hyuga clan. The Byakugan lets them see inside your body and detect all 361 tenketsu points, basically the chakra pressure points. With the Byakugan, a Hyuga ninja can see even the tiniest chakra pathways in your body, and with just one touch, they can block your chakra or destroy your insides. The movements in Gentle Fist look soft and graceful, like a dance, but behind that elegance is extreme precision and powerful control. It's not just about how it looks, it's about hitting the exact spot that'll shut you down from the inside. Gentle Fist's biggest strength is its ability to shut down an opponent without leaving any big injuries on the outside. Instead of bruises or broken bones, it attacks your chakra system, basically turning off your ninjutsu and genjutsu. That's a huge advantage against enemies who rely heavily on chakra to fight. A perfect example is the Chunin exams match between Neji and Hinata. Neji slowly blocked Hinata's chakra points one by one, making it harder and harder for her to keep fighting. Gentle Fist also has an amazing defense move called Kaiten. This technique lets the user spin and release chakra all around their body, creating a powerful dome that pushes enemies back and can even hurt them in the process. It's like a personal tornado made of chakra. Pretty cool, right? But yeah, no style is perfect. Gentle Fist has its weak points too. First, it totally depends on the Byakugan. Without that special eye, the user can't see the chakra points clearly, which makes the style way less effective. That's why only certain members of the Hyuga clan can truly master it. Most of the others, especially those from the branch family, can't reach that level because their Byakugan isn't as powerful. Another weakness is that it struggles against raw power or enemies with massive chakra reserves. Like in Neji's fight with Naruto, Neji blocked most of Naruto's chakra points, but Naruto used the Nine Tails chakra and kept going. In the end, Neji got beat. Also, Gentle Fist is a close-range style. You gotta get real close to your enemy to land those precise hits. So if you're fighting someone who attacks from far away, like Pain did when he fought Hinata, it's tough to do much. Gentle Fist is graceful, precise, and deadly in the right hands. But it needs space, time, and good positioning to work. And in the chaos of battle, you don't always get that luxury. Wrestling style. Have you ever seen a ninja turn a fight into a wrestling match? That's exactly what the wrestling style in Naruto is all about. A raw, powerful kind of taijutsu where pure strength speaks louder than fancy techniques. Unlike Strong Fist, which mixes attack and defense with fast, flowing moves, or Gentle Fist, which targets chakra points with precision. Wrestling style is all about body slams, grapples, and bone-crushing moves like the lariat. This style is usually used by big buff ninjas or those with enhanced physical abilities. Basically, they're walking tanks on the battlefield. The cool thing about wrestling style is straight up. No need for fancy chakra control or tricky techniques. Just raw, unstoppable power smashing through enemies. Wrestling style focuses almost completely on overpowering the opponent. It uses holds, takedowns, and straight-up brute force to pin enemies until they can't move. The techniques are simple, but crazy effective. Like the lariat, a full-speed shoulder slam that can knock out even the toughest opponents. Just ask the fourth Raikage. That man hits like a freight train. This fighting style gets way more dangerous when combined with physical enhancement, Jutsu. Think Baika no Jutsu from the Akamichi clan. It lets them grow huge, like giant huge. Or the lightning release armor used by the Raikage, which boosts his speed and strength to almost god-tier levels. This style doesn't care about elegance. It just wants to crush the enemy, and crush them fast. That brute but badass vibe is what makes wrestling style such a scary force. The biggest strength here is pure overwhelming power. One lariat from the Raikage, or a body slam from Choji in Chobaiki mode, can end a fight in seconds. Remember how Choji flattened Ido Kakuzu like a pancake? Or when the fourth Raikage almost sliced Sasuke in half? He would have too, if it wasn't for Susanoo. And don't forget durability. These guys can take a beating and still keep coming. They're built different. Wrestling style is also deadly in tight spaces. If the enemy has nowhere to dodge, it's game over once you're in grabbing range. But hey, even muscle mountains have weak spots. The biggest drawback is lack of flexibility. These moves are powerful but can be predictable. But he says, quick, agile opponents can dodge and counter if they see it coming. Also, this style relies a lot on stamina. If the user runs out of energy, or if their power-up wears off, like Choji after using the red chili pill, they're in big trouble, sometimes even life-threatening trouble. And yeah, wrestling style struggles against long-range ninjutsu or genjutsu. It shines in close combat, but if you can't get close, you're just a big target. Taijutsu. Now this next style fixes a lot of the problems we just talked about. Enter Taijutsu, or high-speed taijutsu. This is a super unique fighting style developed and perfected by the Raikage across generations in the Hidden Cloud Village. The main idea behind Taijutsu is simple but genius. Cover your whole body with lightning release chakra. That's what creates that glowing blue lightning armor. It seriously boosts your speed and power, like crazy fast. The fourth Raikage, A, took this style to the next level. He used lightning chakra not only to make his attacks stronger, but to supercharge his nervous system. Basically, it lets the brain send signals to the muscles way faster than normal. So when he wants to punch, his body moves instantly. No delay, no wind-up. Just bam, straight to the face. That's the lightning straight for you. Ultra-fast punches and kicks that hit the moment he thinks about them. It's the perfect blend of taijutsu and ninjutsu. Speed is everything, and one perfect strike at the right moment can end any fight. The undeniable advantage of lightning straight is its superhuman speed. During the 5 Kage Summit, the 4th Raikage proved that this style could even beat the perception abilities of the Sharingan. Sasuke, even with his Sharingan activated, couldn't keep up with Raikage's speed and almost lost his life, if not for Susanoo stepping in to protect him. That's how fast this style is. Another key strength is raw power. A single lightning straight punch can break through almost any defense. We saw that when Raikage literally shattered Susanoo's ribcage with a punch. The ability to close the distance quickly is also a huge strategic advantage, especially against ninja who rely on long-range ninjutsu or need time to set up their moves. In his fight with Madara, Raikage was able to cover a massive distance in an instant, attacking before Madara could even finish his hand seals. That's the power of one of the fastest ninjas alive, second only to Minato, thanks to his Flying Thunder God technique. The combination of speed and strength creates an insane amount of pressure on the opponent, forcing them to focus solely on defense instead of counterattacking. Even Sasuke, a battle genius, had to keep dodging and defending against Raikage's attacks. But just like a lightning strike, this style has some clear weaknesses. Maintaining the lightning release armor and super speed uses up a lot of chakra, so it's not ideal for long battles unless the user has an endless supply of chakra. This is why Raikage is so physically massive and has such a huge chakra reserve, essential to keeping this style going throughout a fight. Lightning straight can also be countered by opponents who are just as fast or faster. For example, Minato could easily dodge Raikage's attacks using Flying Thunder God. A fast or smart enough opponent could turn speed into a weakness for this style, forcing the user to constantly adapt or combine it with other techniques to make up for it. Super strength. What do you think brutal strength is? In the world of Naruto, super strength completely redefines that concept. This isn't just normal muscle power like in wrestling style. It's the art of channeling chakra into your muscles to achieve power that far exceeds the limits of biology. This taijutsu style turns the user into a wrecking machine, able to smash the ground with a single punch, lift objects many times heavier than their own body, or destroy entire buildings with just a single hit. The special thing about super strength is that it doesn't require a massive body. Even a small kunoichi like Sakura can create destructive power. The key feature of super strength that sets it apart from other taijutsu styles is the perfect combination of precise chakra control and pure taijutsu. The user must gather a precise amount of chakra into their muscles and then release it at the exact moment of impact, creating explosive strength with devastating results. Tsunade explained to Sakura that this isn't just about pumping chakra into your muscles. It's a technique that requires extreme precision with timing and chakra control. That's why this style is typically used by ninja with excellent chakra control skills, especially medical ninjas. This is the style of those who don't need to dodge. They smash everything in their path with their bare hands and explosive chakra. Users often apply this strength to their surroundings, like creating huge craters to unbalance their opponents, lifting and throwing giant objects like weapons, or sometimes simply punching the opponent with enough force to destroy their body in a single hit. Destructive power is the obvious advantage of super strength. During her fight with Madara, Tsunade showed this terrifying power when she punched through an incomplete Susanoo, the Uchiha clan's strongest defense technique. A super strong ninja makes you feel small, like the whole world is shaking beneath their feet. That's why Tsunade and Sakura, even without any Kekkei Genkai or special genetic techniques, are still fearsome warriors on the battlefield. But even though it's godlike strength, this style has some major weaknesses. The most obvious drawback is the huge chakra cost. To maintain superhuman strength throughout a fight takes a lot of chakra. This makes the style not ideal for long battles unless the user has a massive chakra reserve, like Tsunade with her Byakugan seal. Kenjutsu. Kenjutsu isn't just a branch of Taijutsu, it's a classic martial art centered around the sword. It blends the weapon with the user's body to create precise, fast, and deadly attacks. This is one of the most respected and developed fighting styles in many regions of the Naruto world. The core of Kenjutsu is making the sword feel like a natural part of the warrior's body. Users focus on sword skills, whether it's a traditional katana, a large blade like Kubikiri Bocho, or a tanto, a weapon used by Anbu, combined with fluid body movements to create lethal attacks. Unlike other taijutsu styles that focus purely on the body, Kenjutsu requires perfect coordination between hands, eyes, and the weapon, turning the sword into an extraordinary cutting edge. This style shines through techniques like Iaido, used by Mifune, which is about drawing and cutting with the sword in the blink of an eye, or how Sasuke adds lightning release to his Kusanagi sword to enhance its cutting power. Many ninjas even create their own unique variations, like how Killer Bee uses 7 swords at different spots on his body. The most notable power of Kenjutsu is its ability to deal extreme damage. A sword in the hands of a Kenjutsu master can easily pierce through regular defenses. Its flexibility in attack range is also a huge advantage. Users can strike effectively in both close and medium range, even extending their reach with chakra techniques, like Sasuke's Chidori Sharp Spear. This style is incredibly flexible and impressive. In the battle against Team Taka, Bee used 7 swords at once to completely overwhelm Sasuke. Mifune showed the pure power of Kenjutsu when he injured and even cut through Ito Hanzo's scythe, proving that sometimes basic swordsmanship can beat even the most complex ninja techniques. The biggest drawback of this style is its reliance on weapons. If a warrior only uses a sword, losing it means a huge drop in their fighting effectiveness. Imagine 7 swords without any swords. Kenjutsu also requires a lot of skill and training time. No one becomes Mifune after just a few months of practice. This is why only a few ninjas can truly master this style. This style also struggles against opponents with superior strength or special defenses. Madara's Susanoo easily blocks sword attacks, and even Sasuke had to add Chidori to his Kusanagi sword to improve its piercing power. The balance between risk and precision is what makes this style interesting, forcing users to constantly improve and adapt. Drunken Fist. You might think being drunk just makes people stumble, right? But for Rock Lee, that's when he pulls out Drunken Fist, a chaotic but unique Taijutsu style. Unlike his usual disciplined Strong Fist style, Drunken Fist only shows up when he accidentally drinks alcohol, turning a serious, organized ninja into a wild fighter with unpredictable moves. The first time we saw this style was in his life or death battle against Kimimaro, and it left both his friends and enemies shocked by how he combined a seemingly disadvantageous state with impressive fighting ability. Well, sometimes chaos has its own value in battle. When Lee drinks, his movements become wobbly, disorganized, and seem random. but that's exactly what makes his attacks unpredictable. Although it's still based on the solid taijutsu Lee trained in with Might Guy, the moves in Drunken Fist come from instinct and natural reflexes. In this state, Lee moves in strange postures, sometimes leaning at angles that seem impossible to balance, creating attack angles his opponent can't foresee. In his fight with Kimimaro, a highly analytical fighter, even Kimimaro couldn't predict Lee's next move. So even ninja with abilities to read movements, like those with the Sharingan, will struggle against this style because it's impossible to predict the next move when even the user doesn't know what they're doing. In his fight with Kimimaro, who was one of the top warriors from the Sound Village with excellent combat and analytical skills, Kimimaro still got confused by Lee's spontaneous movements. Unlike other taijutsu styles that can be figured out after a few encounters, Drunken Fist keeps its element of surprise even if the opponent has seen it before, because every time Lee gets drunk, it's a different version of the style. Even though it's effective, Drunken Fist has its clear drawbacks. The biggest weakness is the reliance on alcohol. Lee can't activate this style on command. He has to drink first, which is hard to control in real combat situations. Plus, this style makes it hard for the user to focus on long-term strategy or teamwork because Lee acts purely on instinct. In the final moments of his fight with Kimimaro, when the effects of the alcohol started wearing off, Lee became more vulnerable, showing the unstable nature of this style.